morning, everybody, and welcome back to Walking the Blunt Blade. I'm Oliver. I've said it once, I've said it twice, I've said it a lot. I don't like stupidity, and that's why there's certain topics and people I prefer to keep away from, i.e. Trump. But he is just the perfect example of everything humanity doesn't want to be. It's like a bit of a handy teaching aid as much as it's painful. I guess I want to start this morning's video by sharing what some English people think of Donald Trump. I think this is very important because it was very well written and very well read out. Don't know the name of the guy, but I'll find the video and leave a link in the description.
Writer Nate White penned a detailed and colourful description of Donald Trump and posted it on social media. Now, I've not heard it read aloud by a British person, so I thought I'd give it a go. The piece is entitled, "Why Do Some British People Not Like Donald Trump?" Trump lacks certain qualities which the British traditionally esteem. For instance, he has no class, no charm, no coolness, no credibility, no compassion, no wit, no warmth, no wisdom, no subtlety, no sensitivity, no self-awareness, no humility, no honor, and no grace.
Now, because this piece is so brutal, and more importantly, brutally honest, I think as the video progresses, you'll see more of that. I want to compare I've never been a monarchist, ever. I want to compare world leaders. Like I've said for years, Donald Trump, Bush, they can't speak like Putin. Yeah, that's unfortunate that we employ such dumbasses. I'm not saying that Putin has a heart of gold, but then Trump and Bush certainly did not have a heart of gold anymore. So it's unfortunate. But let's compare King Charles to Mr. Trump. Yeah, if you don't find this funny, you don't have a funny bone in your body.
I am mindful that we are still in the season of Easter, the season that most strengthens my hope. It is why I believe with all my heart that the essence of our two nations is a generosity of spirit and a duty to foster compassion, to promote peace, to deepen mutual understanding, and to value all people of all faiths and of none.
Does he have a good voice or what? I think we're going to send him to the Met. We'll get a little commission, make a lot of money, because that man can sing. Thank you very much. Not the first time we've heard him. So today is a very special day. It's a day where we celebrate Jesus. It's a day where we celebrate religion. And it's an honor to be the President of the United States. Our country is doing so well, like it has never done before. You'll see.
Two very separate messages over the Easter period or Easter month. Needless to say, Charles speaks eloquently, with the entirety of humanity in his thoughts and prayers, and Donald just has an Easter bunny and the usual rhetoric, which is why I cut it. We didn't want to hear anymore, because we've never seen anything like this before. That doesn't even know what Easter's about, celebrating religion. No, dumbass. Celebrating Christianity, a specific religion. Sad. Now, have you ever seen a reaction like that? That is Charles addressing Congress. And there's been a couple of presidents, I believe, that have gone to England to address Parliament there. I'm kind of betting that Trump's never going to be one of those. I think they kind of shot themselves in the foot when they sent J.D. Vance to give his good advice to European leaders. So let's compare what happens in a crisis. You have one man that straightens up his cufflinks, which reminds me a little bit of James Bond, and you have another man. Now, in all fairness, given crisis management is kind of my expertise, I understand people act differently. But check this out.
It happened as Prince Charles was being introduced to the crowd at Darling Harbour. There were two shots. The attacker came within a metre of the Prince, the New South Wales Premier, among those who grabbed him. Eyewitnesses say the man is aged in his late 20s and tripped as he rushed on stage. The Australia Day celebration continued afterwards, the Prince unhurt, and he made no comment on the incident.
They said, take a look at what happened.
Facts will always remain facts, regardless of how much we want to sprinkle, fantasy and fairy dust into it. There are some things we just won't be able to change. And one of those is that actions are always far louder than words. Speak far louder than words. And then words should be your next backup. And it's unfortunate that a president of the United States has neither. So let's continue listening to the humour, the humility, the awesomeness that Trump just cannot have. Let's listen to Charles and his address to Congress, and we'll sprinkle a little bit of what English people really think in there.
For all of that time, our destinies as nations have been interlinked. As Oscar Wilde said, we have really everything in common with America nowadays, except, of course, language.
We like a laugh, and while Trump may be laughable, he has never once said anything wry, witty, or even faintly amusing, not once, ever. I don't say that rhetorically, I mean it quite literally, not once, not ever. And that fact is particularly disturbing to the British sensibility. For us, to lack humour is almost inhuman. He doesn't even seem to understand what a joke is. His idea of a joke is a crass comment, an illiterate insult, a casual act of cruelty.
We meet too in the aftermath of the incident not far from this great building that sought to harm the leadership of your nation and to foment wider fear and discord. Let me say with unshakable resolve, such acts of violence will never succeed. Now, as you may know, when I address my own Parliament at Westminster, we still follow an age-old tradition and take a Member of Parliament hostage, holding him or her at Buckingham Palace until I am safely returned.
He is the most unforgivable of all things to the British, a bully. That is, except when he is among bullies. Then he suddenly transforms into a snivelling sidekick instead. There are unspoken rules to this stuff, the Queensberry rules of basic decency, and he breaks them all. He punches downwards, which a gentleman should, would, could never do, and every blow he aims is below the belt. He particularly likes to kick the vulnerable or voiceless, and he kicks them when they are down. So the fact that a significant minority, perhaps a third of Americans, look at what he does, listen to what he says, and then thinks, yeah, he seems like my kind of guy, is a matter of some confusion and no little distress to British people.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Vice President, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, America's words carry weight and meaning, as they have since independence. The actions of this great nation matter even more. President Lincoln understood this so well with his reflection in the magisterial Gettysburg Address, that the world may little note what we say, but will never forget what we do.
This last point is what especially confuses and dismays British people, and many other people too. His faults seem pretty bloody hard to miss. After all, it's impossible to read a single tweet or hear him speak a sentence or two without staring deep into the abyss. He turns being artless into an art form. He is a Picasso of pettiness, a Shakespeare of shit. His faults are fractal. Even his flaws have flaws, and so on ad infinitum. God knows there have always been stupid people in the world, and plenty of nasty people too, but rarely has stupidity been so nasty, or nastiness so stupid. If being a twat was a TV show, Trump would be the box set.
Someone asked me, what did Charles going to America do? Did it heal any of the relationship? Well, there was no relationship problems. The only thing that's come between Great Britain and America is Trump. And that's all Charles was tasked with doing, is just settle Trump down for a while. Remind people of history. Have a good sense of humour. Show everyone what it's like to be a gentleman and not a complete twat. Good morning, everybody. Cheers. Mission accomplished.